Bippity boppity boo. Steve, what's going on with you?
Not too much, my man. How you feeling?
Feeling like this day is taking forever and I just want to go to bed.
I can vibe with that. I feel it. It's been a day. It's been a day.
Mm-hmm.
But hello everybody. Welcome
Hello,
to
Raven.
this week's Wednesday
night edition of General Dumbassery.
We are so one of the things that I wanted to get into tonight with John, and I hope he would concur.
Didn't you say you wanted to come over tonight? We were going to shoot this live. You did on Monday. You said you were going to come over on Wednesday. We were going to shoot this live.
I thought about doing that, but then I remembered I have to do the other podcast immediately after this one, and it wouldn't necessarily
blend well.
Work. Yeah, unfortunately.
Not like we can't do the after. It's not like I can't be on the after. I can be on the after hours show. I'm important too.
You could. We could definitely do that. It's I just have to have you send a photo of your ID and shit front and back, and it's like a verification process. It's if you want, but we could totally do that.
Is that like if I want to be naked?
No, it's just if you want to be on the stream. But yeah, so one thing that I wanted to get into tonight was first of all, hello everybody. Hello Raven. Hello Malashvi. So I've technically been single since 2018. And I've been seeing more videos lately of people who like Shoe on Head has put on some videos out there of like the modern the dating epidemic, the loneliness epidemic, or whatever they call it for like both men and women, and how there seems to be this like a lot of men are single and not married, not dating, no kids, and I think one of the reasons of that is one of the reasons. There's a lot of reasons that could be, but I think from what I've seen, one of the reasons is that like a lot of women nowadays seem to kind of hold a higher standard for men, like what kind of men that they seek, and it's usually like, you know, like, oh, what kind of guy do you want? And they all say like, oh, he's got to be over 6 foot, makes over 6 figures, you know, this and that, and a lot of people tend to settle for someone who is not necessarily someone that they're looking for, and then the relationship doesn't work out. And I think a lot of it is like because social media caters to a lot of these to specifically like Gen Z. A lot of these kids don't really know. Yo, Tyson, what's up, bud? A lot of people don't really know how to properly interact with people of the opposite sex these days, and I think one of the reasons for that is because of like social media has kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm going to interject. The reason I didn't actually want to talk about like modern dating right now is because I have been a homebody for the past 2 years, and I have been off the dating market for 15 roughly. So I don't really have anything that I can weigh in. From what I can witness from the outside, I definitely wouldn't want to be in the dating pool right now. I don't think that I could do it. But if you want to talk about like loneliness and what it's like being 40, a millennial being 40, I can talk about that. The social dynamics that have changed in like Married couples can talk about that. But to harken onto the part that you're talking about right now, I think just a safe place to like start off with. Why aren't you dating?
I didn't think we'd cross that bridge, but okay. Why aren't I dating? It's mainly because like I guess I just haven't found the right person, and I'm also not really looking for a relationship.
Okay.
I've noticed I've actually noticed it a lot in
That's right, ladies, call him out.
I'm not looking yeah, I'm not really like looking for companionship at this point in my life. I'm kind of more focusing on myself and getting to where I want to be, like physically, mentally, geologically, financially. I'm not where I want to be, where I think that would
Okay.
where I would be able to provide a healthy relationship.
Okay.
And like right now I'm more so just focusing on myself and getting myself to where I want to be. Getting, taking better care of my physical health, my mental health, trying to save money and getting my situation situated.
Self prioritizing over than self prioritizing yourself, your whole package instead of just your package.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Well said. The of who I let in, if that makes sense.
Malouche brought up a very good point. She says,
I personally stopped dating because I am tired of a man expecting from me nude photos or personal info before even going on a first date. Yeah, that's a big red flag.
So I think if I were to, are we down on Kick already? Seriously?
No, it's not. I just I have Twitch up and it had me refresh the page, but we're still up.
Okay, I think I might have just
Kick is still going. Okay. Looks like YouTube is still going.
I believe that there has been a serious level of social degradation that has happened, sort of like what you were talking about with the social media causing problems with the way that people interact. I think that we're in a situation now where there's a lot of skipping of the foreplay, pun intended, where we did this brief, like late 2010s, early 2020s of like hookup culture. And I think people realized like it was fun, but it also sucked. It also really sucked. Because there's people who get into that mindset of hookup culture that everything's disposable and they don't look for a long-term thing. And then there's people that they come across in that culture that they want, that person that wants companionship, but there's nothing reciprocating because that person's still locked in their hookup time.
Yeah. And they're not really fishing and searching for actual any like chemistry or charisma between the two of them. It's just like, hey, let's, they there's intimacy, but there's no romance, if that makes sense.
You mean there's sex, but no romance? Because I wouldn't even call it intimacy, because I don't think that there's intimacy. Yeah. Just because you have sex doesn't mean that there's intimacy.
Yeah. I never expected for a man to make six figures, but guys expect of me to make my own money and pay for myself, but look up. That's our expectations. Yeah. That's another thing. In California, women don't want to work. I expect us to all make six figures. 65% of all males in California are actually single, according to the record. Interesting. Yeah, so that's like another thing. Is like a lot of women. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, because like there are women who want a man who makes the money. He's the breadwinner, and he makes the money, and he pays for everything. He pays for the house, he pays for the car, pays for the phone bill, and everything.
We also just went through a serious time period where we were told that that's not what we want.
What men want?
No. I mean, as a society,
Like,
we just
okay.
went through a huge time period where men as providers was like a negative, that women could be providers themselves. And what we're dealing with is essentially like the feminists and the MGTOWs and all these people all started all this stuff. Like the MGTOWs are, you know what that is, right?
I've
That's
never heard that term.
men going their own way. Those are basically like, they're essentially like male feminists. It's sort of denigrating, but they're guys who have been burnt by a lot of relationships, and they eventually just swear off women altogether, and they just focus on themselves. And sometimes they have kids, sometimes they don't, but mostly they just focus on themselves from that point on. Feminism, same thing. It's literally like focus on yourself and equal rights and focusing on rights and all this. It's like all these groups that went through shit, reached in and like tore up society into all these little fucking pieces until it was like, this is still not good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now we're stuck with this confetti of like how we're supposed to react and like how we're supposed to act. And like what used to be acceptable is no longer acceptable. And it's like all the way up until like the 2010s. The original idea of like you take a person on a date, you have a good time, you get to know each other, all that's out the fucking window. All that's gone.
Yeah, it seems that a lot of people, when they go out, they're not. And I work at a bar that's very, very social, and a lot of people are there. Like, it's one of those places. Like, the only reason that they're out there at till 3 a.m. is because they didn't get any pussy at 1 a.m. And a lot of these guys, like, a lot of these guys and girls go out and dress up, and they dress up in a way that they're definitely trying to like show off their body a little more, or like make sure that their hair looks good, and that they smell good, or whatever. They're trying to attract someone, but it's just like,
I never had luck in a bar.
Yeah, you don't go to a bar. Go to a nice, but go to church. Get yourself a nice church girl.
So that segues into my next point. Is millennial, Gen Z, and I guess Gen Alpha. I mean, Gen Alpha is so young that I don't think they're in the social scene yet, but we do not have a third place. They used to, I've heard this referred to as a third place. A third place used to be like the community bar or the Elks Club or some level of fraternity. And for somewhere along the range, like maybe Gen Z, don't know where, but somewhere that stopped being a thing. And so where people used to have a place where they would all meet up and go watch the sports ball. That's another thing, is like a lot of people out of our generation, not huge sports fans. There was a reason why the NFL was struggling at a recent point. All of the things that used to be like super strong parts of society are starting, like Gen Z is the least alcoholic generation in current history. Like their consumption of alcohol is way lower than what ours was. And ours was lower than what Gen X was, and so on and so forth. So
I think Gen X was that generation where people were just like straight drinking while driving. Like that was their, like, I remember seeing
it was legal.
Yeah.
It was because of them that it became illegal.
Yeah.
Which is sort of ironic and kind of funny, because cars have existed since 1900 and people were drinking and driving all the way up until basically the 70s. So 70 years, there were people that could be responsible. It was the 70s that everybody, and 80s that everybody started driving and crashing into shit and killing people. 70s, 80s, and 90s. So
yeah,
you know, there's a lot to be, you know, I heard somebody talk about this the other day. Have you ever heard the strong men create good times create weak men create bad times? If we're living in the bad times, we're not the weak generation. It's the boomers.
Yeah.
Because the greatest generation of our time, the silent generation, the ones that all rallied together for World War II, the ones who built everything that this was and created Social Security and all the great things that we have, created the weak times, created the good times that became the weak times, that created the weak men being the 60s, the 70s. And that's a tough thing to swallow, because like we look up to a lot of those people because they are sort of like our parents, grandparents, uncles, all that stuff. Yeah. But it's the reality is that, yeah, the reason why the millennial generation is failing, why we can't afford fucking homes, why everything's fucking through the roof, why all of that stuff is because of the boomers and Gen X.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, you're 100% right.
And it's because of that. So like stuff that I've talked to you about, like, yeah, I don't, Malusha, I don't believe that it's faster cars, faster speed limits. I don't. I mean, I understand. Yeah, sure. Like if we're comparing like the 1920s till now, sure. But you got to think the 60s and 70s were the muscle car era. That's where people were like drag racing and doing that kind of stuff. So the cars were powerful. And the 20s, 30s, and 40s were the bootlegging era, and that's where NASCAR got created. So like fast cars always kind of existed. It's the fact that irresponsible people became more irresponsible, and more of them, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. And I feel like back then also, like I feel like there was more incentive within that generation to, you know, marry your high school sweetheart and like, you know, get married, have kids, have a family, because they grew up with like, you know, the nuclear family, the white picket fence, and you know
what, this is one of those things I saw the other day. I was watching something, and how many people do you know from our generation that were raised by their grandparents?
I could probably count
a lot,
a few off the top of my head on one hand at least. Yeah.
Right. Immediately they come to mind. You can think of these people that were raised by their grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means their Gen X parents were virtually, whether it be work, whether it be whatever, lifestyle, any of that stuff. How much of that is happening now?
That's true too. Yeah. Because a lot of people who are having kids within our generation, a lot of them have to work. Like you need.
I would actually suffice to say far less.
You think?
Far less. Yes, legitimately. I don't know the statistics off the top of my head. I can say anecdotally from what I've interacted with. Most of my friends who had children, the reason they waited until they were older was so that they could be more present in their children's lives.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where previous generation, our generation, millennials, how many of us were raised by our fucking grandparents? Because our Gen Xers were virtually absent. Mothers and fathers. That's a transition period. And that's what people don't realize. That's a transition period. That's when everybody everybody in the relationship had to get a job.
Yeah.
See, the American dream of the man working and providing and the woman staying at home and being a stay-at-home mom. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No, it's Steve, do you know me? Do you know my household?
Yeah. But I would say that's an exception.
But it's not.
Because
what it is What it is
It-
management.
Yes. I mean, it's a lot of it is management, and you have and I've said this before on the show. I envy your the relationship that you have with your wife, because it's
Cool.
awesome, and you guys communicate really well. You guys get along really awesomely, and it's I think that is the type of relationship that most people should strive to have. I feel like not a lot of people are communicating or managing their emotions, their finances, their house, as well as some people may not be.
I'm hopping to the chat for just a split second because I just kind of want to address some of the things that Tyson just said. Apparently you aren't in California. Everyone is being raised by their grandparents. Yeah. In California, you have kids, then you have more kids and fuck around and then drop their kids off at daycare or their parents and continue as if they are 18, 19, 20 years old, or even at the age of 40. I get, I'm not saying that it's not existent. I'm not saying that it's not existent. Foster kids and kids in the system has increased 90% in the last few years in California.
Wow.
So this is the thing. If you want to get like an actual like barometer of what's going on in the nation, the coastal states are not it. The coastal states are where you're going to get all your news. Coastal states is where you're going to hear all the crazy stuff going on. And I'm talking like Maine, kind of, but mostly like Massachusetts to Florida, and then Washington to California. I mean, California.
Yeah,
California's pretty much the coast anyway, but
stuff about like in the South or the Midwest.
The South and the Midwest, if you actually want to know what's going on with the society or the reality, it's happening in the center of the United States and it works its way out. And that's what happens. And that's actually true when it comes to like financial stuff. So like realistically, if you pay attention, the housing market crash of 2008, it hit. Now everybody heard the news and everything, and it was happening. But it didn't hit the East Coast until 2012. It took 4 years, which is pretty standard. It takes like 4 to 5 years for it to make its way from the center of the United States all the way out. So the same thing goes with the West Coast. I mean, of course, because the majority of people live on the coastal states. I can't remember the last time I heard something from like Kansas City. No, but they exist. Like, yeah, Kansas City, Tennessee. I got friends in Tennessee. They tell me
you're the only 10 I see.
You're the only 10 I see. I was about to say something, but I can't. Kansas. I don't know. I can't make anything up with that one. Kansas. Arkansas. I think because the height that our population is at, all of the things that have existed in the previous recent generations have been exacerbated, highlighted, magnified. Now, that being said, that's why I say, like, everybody on the East Coast, everybody in Jersey, anecdotally, everybody that I know is very family focused because their families that they came from were really fucked up. Now, I can't speak for Delaware. I can't speak for New York. I can't speak for anybody else around me. But it seems to be a common thread that's why everybody's waiting until they're 40 to have children. Some people are waiting too long and they're not having kids, and that sucks. But that's why there's actually a panic in the financial sector, because there's technically not enough people to replace the generations in the next, like, anywhere between 5 and 20 years. There's going to be like a major like hiccup, and there's going to be a major retraction in a lot of the jobs, the amount of jobs, because there's just not enough bodies to fill them. And that goes from everything from plumbers all the way up to like financial advisors. Like, it's because I think it was something like, I think the total of Gen X is around like 78 million, if I remember correctly. and then millennials are like 48 million, and then Gen Z is like a diminutive like 28 million. And then Gen Alpha, there's this huge gap between Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Huge gap.
Speaking of which, I just pulled up the chart. I forgot I was typing it out earlier, and I meant to bring it up when we brought it up earlier. But yeah, according to statistics, Gen Z is drinking significantly less alcohol compared to millennials, with studies indicating 20% reduction in consumption. This shift is linked to increased health consciousness and a desire for a more balanced lifestyle and the influence of social media.
Well, yeah, because everybody's tired of seeing everybody being a fucking alcohol. See, that's the thing, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is with social media, there are some bonuses and benefits, because we are actually more aware of what we used to see, which used to take part sort of privately, because nobody had a phone with a camera on it.
Yeah.
So now we see that all the time, and it's not glorious. What looked like, you know, in 2010. What looked glorious, a table full of alcohol, everybody didn't realize, or everybody kind of realized and kind of knew, but never really saw it, so they didn't think about it. But you know, that's gonna lead to somebody, you know, in the bathroom with their pants down around their ankles and a greasy butthole and a weird story the next day, or it's gonna, you know, that's gonna be you throwing up in the back of a taxi, and it's not fun.
Yeah, it says here the constant presence of social media and the fear of negative online portrayal can discourage risky behaviors like excessive drinking.
I don't think it's that.
Which I actually noticed, because where I work, there's a lot of like Gen Z, like there's a lot of like faded mullets and broccoli haircuts where I work that come through, and it's very rare that I usually work there Fridays and Saturdays, and it's like maybe we got to kick out like one, maybe two people a night for being too drunk. But for the most part, there's been a few nights where like, you know, you don't got to kick anybody out. Like, you got to say, like,
I don't think it's the negative internet portrayal. I don't think that's it at all. I think what the reality is that people have been exposed to like Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia. And if not for everybody who's not aware of what Kensington Avenue is, they call that Zombie Road. And that's where all the drug addicts have ended up. And you can literally watch live streams of these poor people, because they are poor. Zombie Road. There you go. Alan. So I think that people see that. They see the end result sooner. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that saved me from a lot of my mistakes, is the fact that my dad put me into a business where I got to see the end result. A lot more than there was a lot less glory and a lot more of like junkies. And you know, how many people out of our generation died because of drug abuse? And then there was that stretch where like everything had fentanyl in it. Now, there recently was the anti-fentanyl act, or whatever the hell it's called, where if you're busted with something that has fentanyl in it, it's like maximum charge automatically. Let's see if things change after this. Let's see if this changes and see if Gen Z gets a little bit more loose. But when people were keeling over and dying from fucking snorting cocaine because it had fentanyl in it. You know what I mean? Like that was happening. And that tends to make, when that permeates the ethos of the crowds, people pull away from that shit.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah, I just pulled up a video. Streets of Philadelphia, Kensington Avenue documentary, 2024. Somebody just had like a body cam, and they're just like walking down. There's like fucking tents. Someone is collapsed out of a wheelchair, and people are just walking by him, sleeping back. Oh my god, garbage cans.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah, they call it Zombie Road, Zombie Land.
That's terrible.
But it's reality, and we can see reality, and it's not glorified. You know, because that was the thing during like our generation with the millennials, is they thought that they were going to go to a club, they were going to see somebody rich and famous sitting at a table, and they were going to pull them over, and they were going to get drunk, and then they were going to wake up on a boat in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not what happens. You might be in Florida, but it ain't going to be Malibu.
It's gonna be with the crocodiles.
No, it's going to be in a very shady fucking building where you're going to have to give massages to people.
Good Lord.
Oh, well, I mean, finally, people are starting to wake up to how easily it is. You know, back in the day, it used to be called Shanghai, and that originated in California. And that's because when 49ers would go over there looking for gold and get drunk in a saloon, they would wake up and be slave labor in Shanghai. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yep. Human trafficking has been a thing, especially on the West Coast, for as long as the United States has existed. So when you hear somebody say, I got shanghaied, that's what that means.
Speaking of,
sure,
we're not going to get into that.
No, hit me. Fuck it.
Where the fuck are the files? Where the hell are the Diddy tapes? What the fuck is going on in this world?
I don't know, dude.
Someone just went back to their office and they were like, they were right here. I
don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like it. Alan says he deleted the Diddy tapes. Did he delete the Diddy tapes? Diddy?
Diddy wheel-wee? There was a person at my old job who couldn't pay because of being a victim of human trafficking.
I mean, that happens.
Yikes.
Human trafficking is, I mean, that's the question you kind of ask yourself is like, has it really gotten that bad that it like kids are literally getting snatched off the street? Or when I was a kid, I used to hear about kids who used to get snatched off the street. So has it just always been there? And it's just now we're actually able to like record how many times it fucking happens?
Well, it's funny you say that. I think it was,
you know what I mean?
Last week, I think it was, I saw a video of, there was someone on at a train station in Queens. And there's this young woman who was literally screaming, help, help, help. And this guy was like trying to drag her off the platform down the steps. And luckily a bunch of other men intervened and ended up stomping the guy to the ground. But apparently the caption for it was that the guy was supposedly trying to traffic the young woman or kidnap the young woman. But I think a big part of it is like now, like, you know, everybody's got cell phones, but it's weird because I think it happens more than we think.
Yeah.
And it's also weird that like people, there's this weird thing where we don't take a lot of things seriously. Like we don't take serious things seriously. Like people make memes about like you know, P Diddy's with the freak offs and people make memes of like the Epstein shit, and people make memes of like things like all this stuff, and and I think a part of it is like we're being desensitized to those kinds of things, to these serious things where like the UFO shit that was going on. People are saying all these UFO drones are going over New Jersey, or everyone was like talking about, you know, UFOs for a while.
Speaking of which, I actually saw a video. I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually was listening to a first person account of what happened at the Fayetteville Mall, which is rather interesting. I might send it to you. I got to finish that. Yeah, Tyson, I just looked that one up. No, it's not. It's right here.
You could beat your wife on Sunday.
I believe that's Virginia. Virginia has that law, not New Jersey.
There's another problem in Daneyfield. I personally don't like weed, but it's legal now, so too many men are smoking it and get offended. Ask me to do it on the day before it. I think that kind of goes hand in hand with drinking, because some people might not want to drink. Some people might not want to smoke.
Yeah, but see, the problem with weed is that it's been chemically altered. It is no longer the marijuana that it was when we were kids. It is not the stuff that we used to smoke. It's this stuff that fucking, it's a step away from a hallucinogenic. Now there's all these things I keep seeing is like high THC is tied to psychosis. I mean,
Yeah, I could see that.
They're chemically altering it to the point where fucking whatchamacallit is now the anti-weed videos from when we were kids, reefers, is a reality.
Yeah, I think because I used to smoke so much weed in high school.
But you could function.
It was a daily occurrence.
But you could function. You could smoke it and function and get shit done.
Yeah, and then but now like it's like I tried to smoke and I'm just like I'm almost uncomfortably high. Like I'm just
almost instantly.
I don't want to move.
This is the one that pisses me off because when I was younger, back when I was like 18 years old, you used to be able to smoke and then you'd be good for like 4 or 5 hours and you'd be like roasty toasty for like 4 or 5 fucking hours. You watch a movie, you eat some popcorn, you have a good time, and you would go up and you would slide down real calm and mellow, and everything was funny and everything was good. Now you smoke this weed, and I started noticing this because this started happening like end of the 2000s, so like 2010 is you get really high really fast and then you come down almost immediately.
See, I remember the last time that happened to me. I think it was like 2012. I think it was when I like really like was smoking more frequently. And then one time, me and a friend, we planned to just like smoke some weed, and we were going to go to the diner and grab some food and hang out and like just shoot the breeze. And we both smoke, and we were just like, we started walking down my driveway to the car, and we were just like, I could tell she was really high and I was really high. I was just like, why don't you go without me? I'm a little too fucked up right now. And then she was just like, why are you being so weird right now? I'm like, I'm not being weird. I'm just really, really high.
I don't feel good.
and then she's like, what? And I was just like, I don't know, maybe you go without me. And then like, I went to go give her a hug goodbye, and she like stepped away, like recoiled away from me. It was like, you're freaking me out. And I'm like, I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm just really high. And she's like, well, I'm really high right now too. I'm like, all right, let's go back inside. And we both just literally laid on my bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for it to pass, because we were just so like I could feel my bones creaking or something. Like it was like R2D2's head when he like goes to turn, and it's like
you start roboting.
Like, that's how my head was turning, and I was just like,
that happened to me the first time I ever tried to dab, dude. I was just like,
yeah, that dude. I tried one once, and I was just like, this is stupid. Like, I'm not having a good time.
I'm
straight up not having a good time, bro.
Not having a good time, bro. You're harsh in my mellow.
Let flower loose and then weigh it and roll to prevent the high spike I noticed from the pens. These hybrid strands can be odd.
Yeah, I don't do pens. I had a friend of mine hand me a pen. He was like, "Oh, it's so great. You can sneak it and blah, blah, blah." And I would smoke it, and I would vape it. And I would literally feel like I had cotton balls in my ears, which is usually a sign that I'm allergic to something. And I was just always having like bad negative thoughts. Like that's the other thing is like I used to get paranoid, right? We would get high, you get really fucking high, you get a little paranoid.
Which is usually the best part.
Well, I mean, that's how you knew you were good. You know if you went past that level, it was going to get uncomfortable. Now I have negative thoughts, like I'm like on a bad acid trip or a bad mushroom trip. Like this is all for harm reduction. Don't smoke weed and don't do drugs, kids. So like weed would start giving me like really negative, like hate myself thoughts, which I thought was really weird because it used to never do that at all. That's not depression. It's not depression. It's different. It's legitimately different. It's like a bad trip. Like I would smoke weed and have a bad trip, but I wasn't tripping. It's like I would think of all the horrible negative things that were going on. It wasn't just like paranoia, like, oh my God, somebody's going to be able to tell that I'm high. Like, because that's what it used to be. It used to be like, oh God, do they know? Oh, and then you'd like walk out of the store and be like, did the cashier know?
Yeah.
Like, it was that kind of paranoia. It wasn't like, oh my God, my sister's trying to like kill me so that she can get my family inheritance and blah, blah, blah. And this is that. And I'm a horrible person. And you're like, you do these horrible things. And it's like, whoa, where's that coming from?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that I was having. It was just like, you're going to go to hell and suffer and burn in hell. And it's like, what?
I never, it used to be like weed used to like, I would just laugh with my friends and we would just like,
I feel
like,
that, Alan.
talk about like whatever happened like during the week at school. And we were just like, just shooting the shit, man. And it was fun. But then eventually it turned into just like, it wasn't fun anymore. That's what
that was the thing.
I miss it. I miss being able to smoke and just feel good. Like I've done it a few times in like the past like year or two to kind of like help me fall asleep, which it does.
When we were kids, when we were 17, 18, 19 years old, smoking weed wasn't the plan. Right? You would have plans like, hey, we're going to go to the movies. Hey, we're going to go hit the diner. Hey, we're going to go do something. And then weed was like the salt or the sugar on top of the cake. You were like, yeah, we'll get stoned and do that. That'll be a blast, right? It's going to make this movie. We're going to go see Grandma's Boy. It's going to be hilarious. We're going to be fucking sitting there cracking up.
And we were.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was the additive. It wasn't the plan. And like, yeah, sometimes, it's like, we got nothing to do. Like, oh, dude, I got no money. I'm broke. Well, dude, I got a quarter bag. You want to like split that up and we'll smoke that and play video games? Fuck yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. That would turn video games into fun. Or like, let's get stoned and go drive. It was never like, let's go get stoned and just do nothing but get stoned. And I think that's what it is now. It's like people just get fucking high all the time. It's like, dude, wake up, smoke.
Halo 3 and weed was like all of like 2007 for me.
Arcady Drake. Wait a second. This isn't Star Citizen. No, unfortunately, it's not Arcady. But welcome to the General Admissions Podcast, where we're complaining how weed is not the way it used to be. It's not good anymore. It's not fun.
And neither is Star Citizen. And bring back poor Olisar.
And neither is cocaine.
I wouldn't know anything about that. We should do another like Star Citizen stream on these. No, God damn it, no. Old man yell at cloud live.
Welcome to the 40-year-old millennial podcast.
Speak for yourself. I'm 36.
So, yeah, that's what I was about to get into. I'm turning 40 in 12 days. Comrade Bambi, what's up, buddy?
Gonna get yo. How you been? There's a name I haven't seen in a minute.
How you been, guy? Tell me. Been good. You been good.
Staying out of trouble. Have you, Comrade, you been playing the 4.2 lately? I was so mad. So this month,
thank you.
In that game, the Drake Caterpillar is one of the ships you get for the month. So I've been like stacking hauling missions. I got like
12 days. It's 11 days.
I fucking got a server error, and it wasn't one of those server errors where like the game crashes and then like you come back and like everything's just the way it was when the game crashed, like it usually is. This time it was just like I woke up in my apartment, went back down to my hangar, and half the stuff was still there and on my ship, but the missions were gone. Ugh. So I had all this like I had like hundreds of SCUs of contracted shit, just taking up space, and I was, oh my god, it was like a $1 million run that I spent like an hour just throwing together.
An hour of your life just fucking wasted.
Yep.
That's what they should call it. They should call it hour wasting. I have never found a game in my life that I have never felt so unaccomplished after I did shit in it. Because it would eventually be wiped. I've played a dozen games since we stopped playing Star Citizen, and on all of them I feel accomplished because I beat them or something along those lines, and I've whatever. But Star Citizen, I've come to hate it.
I haven't played Star Citizen in a long time. I'm 41. I haven't smoked weed more than twice a year for like 20 years. I realized that it just wasn't for me. Maybe do nothing and get too inside my head. Yeah,
That's
it
kind of
used
what-
to be good.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is it just basically puts you in your head in a weird space, and I don't get it.
It used to be fun. It used to make things. It was like you said. It was the.
Alan, I
It was-
destroyed Doom Infinite.
Right.
Wait, Doom Infinite? Like the old Doom? I beat that years ago as a kid. Yeah, Satisfactory. You know what? I did the same thing. I got off of SC and I started playing a game called Tectonica, which is very similar to Satisfactory, except it's sort of a little more contained. And I have gotten all the way up until the point where I have to make 8,000 cubes, colorless cubes. I don't want to give away the ending. I don't want to give the ending.
Oh, Doom Infinite is a mod.
Yeah, of Doom 2. Yeah, I beat that years ago. Decades ago. I've been a Doom fan since I was in diapers.
Doom Infinite is a roguelike mod for Doom 2. It features random enemy spawns, item drops, and level changes. Interesting.
That's because you can get shit done on all of that. Little speed, little Lucy. And worst case scenario, you just dance. Fuck it.
God, I miss ecstasy.
Worst case scenario, you just dance.
Aside from weed, that was the only drug I ever tried. And that was...
That's not true. That's not true.
No, you're right.
That's not true.
It's not. It's not.
I being the good influence that I am.
Please be the same person.
Please be the same person.
So funny.
You got to admit. And you know what? That's one of the things that I got to say is that mushrooms are like what weed used to be.
Yeah.
Right?
I
We
can see that.
giggled and joked and laughed and had a great fucking time that night.
Yeah,
Just being in our
and
presence.
That was the only time I ever did it. And I think microdosing is definitely... I would rather microdose on like on psilocybin than like smoke weed.
Yeah. Nowadays, yes. If I could get my hands on like the old classic brick weed, like some old homegrown or like smuggled across the Mexican border brick weed, I'd do that. But
I don't think they have yet. I haven't looked into it. You know what? Let me look it up right now.
Comrade, I am with you 110%. That's why you know what? Not, I'm going to leave that there. Yes, I agree.
Damn. So, current New Jersey law does not give authority to NJ-CRC to authorize private, residential, or any growing of cannabis outside of a business with a cultivation license.
Yeah.
So, because I think it was in Colorado when they legalized it, they made it so you could technically grow your own plants.
Colorado, Maine, and I think Washington are all grow states. I think Pennsylvania is too now. I used to keep track of all that stuff because I was waiting for it. But as soon as it came to Jersey and it was legal, I was waiting for it to be like turned over so that people could start growing it on their own.
Oh, wow. Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, New York, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. You can grow your own plants there.
I thought you could in Pennsylvania too, but I guess not.
New York State allows medical marijuana patients to grow their own cannabis in a private house with up to 6 plants, 3 mature allowed at any one time.
Yeah, people do grow co-ops where they all like rent out a warehouse and it's like 10 people so they can grow like 60 plants. They everywhere that there's a grow place, they do that kind of shit.
Yeah, it looks like all the ones I'm looking up, it's they're all saying any adults over 21 can grow up to 6 plants in their house home at a time.
And like the problem with New Jersey, there's only one company that's allowed to grow in New Jersey. So It's all a product of their product. Companies have already been busted spraying terpenes. Companies already been busted spraying extra THC. It's just like New Jersey's the blue balls of marijuana legalization. Like they said they were going to be able to. You could walk into a whatchamacallit. You could walk into a dispensary, and I think that's fine. I think as long as you have a New Jersey ID. But like they don't. I expected it to be far more like California. I expected it to be like California. I was expecting it to be like Massachusetts and Maine. And it's not. And I just don't like
I had family in Orange County, and when they legalized it, I went.
The weed in Jersey makes people weird.
Yeah, it's because it's New Jersey, and we're like, there's so much fucking like fentanyl in this state. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's just because the way that people grow it, they don't let it mature. They pull it short season. It's way high THC. It's just like Alan said, high spikes. You got to be aware of the high spikes. I thought I was crazy because of that, because I would smoke with a friend of mine and we would smoke an entire blunt and then I would get like rocket high. And then I'd be like uncomfortably high for like 10 minutes. And the next thing I know, I'm back down and I'm like, it's only been an hour and I'm like done. What the fuck? Like this isn't, and what it does is it makes you buy more product because you want to smoke to stay high.
Now you mention it, I think I tried that Breeze drink. Did I tell you about that?
I don't know those.
It's a THC and psilocybin infused like mocktail. It's like an alternative for alcohol. And supposedly it's like a more mellow YouTube lags. Yeah, YouTube lag is hard. It's very laggy. But yeah, I noticed that I didn't last long. It lasted maybe like you said, like about maybe just under an hour.
Yeah.
That I kind of felt that like high buzz.
Let's get back to our original topic. What can we do to help improve the social climate that we're at so that people... Thank you very much, comrade. For 3 months. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
What would be like? This is the thing. It's funny because I had a similar conversation with my father earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to give people advice. Like people want advice. They want advice, but you can't give relationship advice because every relationship every person is unique. So I think that's where a lot of relationship advice falls flat. And in some cases, yeah, like the whole like, you know, that's where like Andrew Tate and those guys and those guys kind of came to the forefront of this topic. And like there was a time period where there was the pickup artistry and all that dumb shit.
Fucking clowns. Like I didn't know who Aston Hall was until like somebody brought them up once. Aston Hall is this guy who he posts these videos of like his daily routine where he wakes up at like 4 a.m. and then like puts his face in a cold bowl of water, but that's like, and he only like bathes and does a plunge, puts the only water he uses is like really expensive glass bottled water.
Voss.
I don't know. But he just like posts these videos of him like running and like getting dressed in his suit and like being driven around and shit. And but yeah, people like him and like Andrew Tate, I think they give a like a false sense of masculinity.
They wouldn't exist if there wasn't a vacuum there to begin with.
Yeah. That's true too.
Because I think that's what I'm getting at. That vacuum that's there is the third place, is the places like clubs and things and community. And we don't have community anymore. There isn't community anymore.
No.
And so guys like Tate can become the head of a community because of things that he says ring true. And listen, every single one of those guys, a broken clock is right twice a day. So there's moments where some of the things that they fucking say make sense, even to me. And I don't know, we're in this fucking weird time period where everything's fake. I don't know if you caught that the other day when I fucking lost my mind in the group chat and I just started going off. But like everything's fake. Everything's fake. AI's fake. Everything has an agenda or a narrative. Everything's fucking two-tone, like, and it's nihilistic. And I was only half joking. I was kind of joking. But kind of meant it at the same time. So I can only imagine, like, again, I'm almost 40. I've been through all of this stuff. I did my dating. I have kids. I'm sort of past that point. I can only imagine like what my sons are going to go through. Like my daughter, not so much. I don't want this to sound weird, but she's beautiful. So I need to teach her to discern decent guys from shitbags. That's about it with her. When it comes to my sons, like, I think the best advice is exactly why you're not dating right now. And you think you need to focus on yourself 110%.
Mm-hmm.
The least attractive side of anyone is the back of their smartphone. I feel more connected with people when they're not checking their phones all the time or looking stuff up. Phones suck your attention. Attention is required for genuine social interaction. Hard to engage with the competition from a device apps literally engineered to occupy your head and head's light holes. Agreed 110%. You're absolutely right. It's the attention economy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying to my wife constantly that it's time for us to go back to flip phones. It's time for us to get rid of the fucking smartphones because the smartphones are making us dumb.
They should call them dumb phones.
They should call them dumb phones.
But I think it's at a point now where a lot of people
focus on self-improvement, focus on your diet, educate yourself about food, educate yourself about worldly things. Because you know what? That's the biggest thing that I think has suffered the most. Because you know what used to be great? You used to go to a party, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those parties when we were kids and you would smoke some weed. And then you would get into a conversation with a person you never met. And they would start telling you things about like stuff that they really like. And then the next thing you know, you're like fucking 2 hours into a conversation about Goethe and fucking and historical art. And then you walk away from that situation. You may never see this person again. It was just a good conversation. But then you go and you start researching that stuff. And then all of a sudden you start finding things that you like. We don't have that anymore. That has been taken out and substituted with this false fucking algorithm of like, you should like this. You should like this. You should like this. Did you know these 10 great things? The last one's going to blow your mind. You should like this.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of
the last one. They don't say like, click like for part 2.
We need to get rid of all of that. And the only way to get rid of all of that is delete the phone.
I can't fucking stand these. There's this one ad that I saw. I forget what it was for, but it's like, I think there was one for DoorDash that was like a couple, like this woman like pretended to take a bite of a cheeseburger, and then like her and her husband just started dancing because they just ordered, like they did like some kind of TikTok dance together or something. And then they like, it was for like DoorDash, and then there was another one for like an IQ test, and it's like, we took an IQ test and we're all dancing now because we took this IQ test. And oh, look, he fell over. Let's all laugh at him. Ha ha ha. And it's
Well, how
like,
many of the fucking ads now are all AI ads? And it's the guys that are talking, and they're talking with their hands, and their hands aren't clinking on the points that they're actually making. So they're talking, and their mouth is moving, and their eyes aren't moving. But like, AI is going to destroy the world. No, it's not. It's going to make everything fucking. Eventually, people are going to stop interacting with it.
It's gotten to a point now where like I saw an ad for, it was like Elon Musk talking about something, but it wasn't him talking. Like the mouth wasn't moving to the words. And it's like, hi, Elon Musk here, and I'm gonna make you rich with this cryptocurrency.
Those are the early ones. Those are the early ones. I'm talking about the ones that are like, have you been drinking water in New Jersey? If you have. Like I can't even do it, but like their hands move on the beat, like you know how a person would talk, but it's always like the wrong words or whatever. Like you may be subject to, like, and it's like it's obvious to me it's AI. Like there are people in this world that can't discern that that's fucking AI.
Yeah,
it's not getting better. It's really not.
Like there, like the video of someone showing their grandmother, who's clearly like at least 70. An AI video of like these dogs doing like multiple flips into an Olympic pool, and the grandma's like, "Oh my god, would you look at how do they train them to do that? That's incredible! Wow!" and it's like, but anybody who was at least born in our generation would be able to tell like that's AI.
Do you really want a cyberpunk future?
Kinda.
I don't.
Is Pan Am going to be in it? Because kinda.
No. There's a Pan Am out there for you, buddy. Just you got to go fix a car. Go.
Yeah, you're right.
Go work in your front yard. Go work on your car. Learn cars, or she'll have no respect for you. You know that.
Easy, John. You're cutting deep. You son of a bitch. I hate it. But no, yeah, the
watch it. I have hope. I pray that it's the millennial generation that we become the disconnect generation. We're probably not going to be.
The Hunger Games. I'm so down. Plot twist. Only contestants are the politicians.
I wish it were that way, dude. I wish it were that way.
I remember one time I said like, instead of these like if like Kim Jong-un and like Donald Trump wanted to go to war, instead of sending a bunch of like people like in their military to just like go into a battlefield and duke it out on their behalf, just put fucking Trump and Kim Jong-un in the octagon, let them fucking settle their differences that way. Stop sending these fucking people out to
that's
to war
always
and, like, killing all these people.
That's always been the chant, like as far back as Vietnam and Korea. Is the fact that if you're going to vote for war, if you're a congressperson, you're going to vote for war, put your kids on the front line. I don't disagree with it. But these are all fanciful ideas and unrealities. There are benefits that are coming from the connected generation, is because kids are waking up. You just pointed out, 20% of Gen Z don't drink. Good.
Or it's a 20% decrease compared to
right
millennials. Yeah.
So,
which is good, and they are being more like health conscious. Like
Yeah.
I'm noticing the more I look at people
and hopefully that's
who are Gen Z compared to millennials, like I'm seeing more overweight millennials than I am seeing overweight Gen Z
yeah.
people. But and they're definitely a little bit more health conscious.
It's also their
know.
age. Trust me, dude. When I was fucking 19, 20, 21 years old, I was 195 pounds. So
Yeah.
it has a lot to do with their age too. You know, when I got a car and I stopped riding my bike fucking 20 miles a day, I blew up too.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You know, that tends to be the case. Yeah, I mean, California is different, man. Like California needs to sink into the fucking ocean. And you need to get a life raft.
California love.
It's funny because like all the McDonald's around here are like they're only not populated. They're only patroned by fucking old people in New Jersey.
Gen Z can't stop eating McDonald's. Dude, that's another fucking thing that needs to go the way of the dinosaurs. It's fucking McDonald's.
No, like I had this conversation with my father. You know, like, you know the thing about how they say it's an all beef patty?
Yeah, and it's a company called All Beef, and it's not.
It's like 30% soy.
Away with saying all beef, yeah.
Right. Realistically,
I just made a banging burger yesterday.
We should just make fucking burgers. Can't we just make fucking burgers?
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, being the Gen Xer that he is like, well, when it comes down to the dollar and it comes down to corporations, and he's right at, you know, when it comes down to the bottom line of the dollar, then yeah, that they're gonna skimp everywhere they fucking can. Okay, can we get out of that? Can we stop that? We stop that now? Google, shut up. So we got another hour. What do you want to talk about?
I'm trying to find it. I was really proud of this. Sorry. I just wanted to share.
Oh, nice. All right. You were asking where the list is. Some news just popped up on my thing. They fired the Epstein prosecutor. Nice. Very nice.
I fucking love making burgers.
Oh, I don't buy McDonald's. I don't do McDonald's. I don't do fast food, period.
We can stop it. Just do not buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine if nobody went to McDonald's for just one day?
Could you imagine what if everybody on the face of the planet stopped spending money for exactly a day? Could you imagine what if the entire fucking US could do if they stopped paying their taxes for a single day? We can't rally together. We always got to constantly be against each other.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raven.
Raven, thank you for the bits.
There it goes. They're falling in. Oh my God, all the things. My cup runneth over.
All those chickens.
All those chickens. You wee Rick. Thank you very much, Raven.
Appreciate you. But you were saying something about the person with the Epstein thingamabob was prosecuted or something?
The prosecutor, the person who was prosecuting Epstein and Diddy, was fired from the DOJ.
For what?
I don't know. Being James Comey's daughter?
Who the hell is James Comey?
We've been over this, bud. We've been over this. James Comey, the ex-head of the FBI, the guy who created the Steele dossier, the guy who was at the Mueller investigation, his daughter who's been fumbling, who basically, because of her prosecution against Diddy, allowed Diddy to fucking walk and didn't get him on any of the trafficking charges. The same bitch who basically allowed Epstein to walk. The same bitch who basically allowed Ghislaine Maxwell to sit in prison for, fucking 6 years for no fucking reason and never prosecuted her. She just got fired. Probably for not doing her job. Maureen Comey, by the way, if you're looking up her name.
Amy Coney?
Amy Coney Barrett? No, that's a judge.
Okay.
No, Maureen Comey, Comey. Maureen. Just look up Epstein prosecutor.
Bullshit. Here we go. James Comey is an American lawyer who was the 7th director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from 2013 until his termination in May of 2017. He was terminated.
Yeah. Because he's a part of the deep state.
Ah. Why was James Comey was fired by Trump in 2017. Comey had been criticized in 2016 for his handling of the investigation of the Hillary Clinton email controversy. For the record, I love my family. I will never do anything to unalive myself. 2017 FBI's investigation of Russian interference. So he was pretty much told by Trump during his presidency to go look into the Clinton email controversy and the Russian interference elections and alleged collusion with Trump's presidential campaign. Trump dismissed Comey by the way of termination letter, which he stated he was acting on the recommendation of Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. In the following days, he gave numerous explanations of the dismissal that contradicted his staff. Also, Billy, the initial impression of influenced his decision. Trump publicly stated that he had already decided to fire Comey. Later emerged that I don't know any of these people. I'm not like
I know.
I'm not exactly
I know.
like into these things because I just don't care.
So the way the story goes, supposedly, allegedly, for the record, allegedly, Comey during the 2016 election released a bunch of letters directly pointing out the Hillary Clinton email scandal. And they blame him for basically costing her the election and allowing Trump to get in. They get in, Comey starts pushing the Steele dossier, which was saying that Russia was colluding with Trump to get him into office. That has all been debunked. That has all been not just debunked, that has been actually proven to be false, and his fingerprints are all over it. Why is he not locked up? Who fucking knows? The reason he got fired by Trump is because Trump was like, look into the email server, the unsecured email server of classified fucking emails that should be classified, but they're not because they're on her personal email server. And Comey was like, no. So he gets fired. His daughter is allowed to stay in the Department of Justice. His daughter is the prosecutor. His daughter is the one that prosecutes
of Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. And Sean Combs, also known as P the Diddler. And the reason why Diddy is not going to get hit with trafficking charges, even though he was obviously, it's kind of weird that two traffickers who have all this documentation that the public has about their trafficking This prosecutor can't sink that fucking case. Wonder why.
Yeah, this was released. Holy shit! Not even an hour ago.
Yeah.
Maureen Comey was prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein and is a former FBI James Comey's daughter. Was fired Wednesday from her job in the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, according to two people familiar with the matter who were granted anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly. Publicly. The reason for her firing was not immediately clear. She did not immediately respond to phone calls and an email seeking comment. Spokespeople for the Justice Department of the U.S. Attorney's Office declined to comment. Comey, who had worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office for nearly a decade, prosecuted both Epstein and his associate
Ghislaine Maxwell. That's if you feel like giving her the respect of pronouncing her name right. Otherwise, just call her Jizzy Maxwell.
Both prosecuted both Epstein and his associate Jizzy Maxwell. In recent weeks, President Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi have faced a fires Jizz Man. We're adults, we swear. In recent weeks, President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi have faced a firestorm of criticism over their decision to not release additional files related to Epstein, the disgraced financier who was accused of running a child sex trafficking ring. Prosecutors in the Manhattan United States Attorney's Office, including Comey, charged Epstein in 2019 with sex trafficking of minors. He died by suicide in jail while awaiting trial on those charges. Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking, sentenced 20 years in prison. She is appealing her conviction, which is a whole another weird thing, because if Jizzy is in jail for 20 years for sex trafficking, but now they're saying that there was no sex trafficking and there were no files and he was not murdered in jail, and that he did in fact unalive himself. So Maxwell's just in jail for no reason right now. Supposedly, is that their reasoning?
Currently, she's trying to argue the fact that because Epstein was gifted a sweetheart deal, as they call it, a sweetheart deal being like, it's so ridiculous that if he pled guilty, that they would. This is the person, this Maureen Comey. This is the person that offered Epstein, with an unsurmountable amount of evidence, immunity if he pled guilty and would give immunity to any of his clients. It's her. It's her. She did this. The reason why we're going through everything the fuck we're going through right now, the list is a fucking mess. All of this is rooted at her. She offered Epstein the get out of jail free card. She did. Under whose pressure? Who knows? Don't know.
Why is the world on fire?
I don't know. I wake up every day and I'm fucking mad at it.
This goes on to say Comey's firing also comes as the Trump administration is reportedly investigating her father, who Trump has long reviled. The investigations apparently relate to James Comey's role in the probe of links between Trump's 2016 campaign in Russia, which you said was debunked.
Yes, there's actual proof that the Steele dossier was paid for.
As well as a recent Instagram post by James Comey that Trump allies saw as threatening to Trump.
The Steele dossier, also known as the Trump-Russia dossier, is a controversial political opposition research report from 2016 presidential campaign of Donald Trump, compiled and counterintelligence specialist Christopher Steele. It was published without permission in 2017 as an unfinished 35-page compilation of unverified and potentially unverifiable memos that were considered by Steele to be raw intelligence, not established facts, but a starting point for further investigation. This was what he was actually getting fucking impeached on. Now, allegations, authorship, and sources. The dossier is based on information in witting and unwitting anonymous sources known to counterintelligence specialist Christopher Steele. Some were later revealed. Passage of time, dossier's veracity and Steele's reputation. Steele and the dossier became the central point of the contention in the political brawl raging around the special counsel investigation and Russian interference 2016. Blah, 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 blah. It's just going to repeat a lot of the same stuff. Dossier's broad assertion that Russia did this, according to the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, who's also under investigation now for fraud after the Mueller report. Reputation. Okay, the process of evaluating Steele's information has been explained by Bill Priestap at the time of Assistant Director, FBI Counterintelligence Division. We did not even take the information provided at face value. We went to great lengths to try and to independently verify the source's credibility and prove or disprove every single assertion in the dossier. We absolutely understood that the information in the so-called dossier could be inaccurate. We also understood that some parts could be true and other parts false. We understood that information could be embellished or exaggerated. We also understood that the information could have been provided by the Russians as a part of disinformation campaign. 2017, where's the more recent stuff? 2018, varied observations, dossier veracity, investigations, conspiracy theories, and claims about the dossier. Conspiracy theory was trigger for start investigation. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's fucking true. Claim it was a significant portion of FISA applications, denials and specific accusations, reactions to the dossier. They came out and they disproved this. Trump-Russia Steele dossier source acquitted for lying to the FBI. Republicans blast the report that the FBI offered Steele $1 million for the dossier. Debunked anti-Trump dossier subsource who sought to discredited Steele dossier doesn't undercut Russian inquiry. Why was the Steele dossier not dismissed as a fake? That was 2020. I don't know. Everything gets fucking washed and like swept under the rug by all these media companies. They'll promote, they'll do shit where they'll put out an article and then change the article 6 months later.
Curiouser
and curiouser.
It's almost as if the media is being controlled by someone, by some sort of entity that doesn't want you to see something.
So yeah.
Yeah, all this like deep state shit, all this like I started kind of like getting hip to that, the idea of like, you know, the government isn't what we think it is. Like we could vote for whoever we want, and that's just like I've had this idea of like whoever you vote for, whether it's Republican or Democrat or whatever, it's they're not really running the country. It's like there's never mind the man behind the curtain kind of thing.
Well, you know what the deep state is? Like, it's not like this shadowy, like, fraternity. Hi, Dad. It's not like this shadowy fraternity of, like, people like the Skull and Bones. I mean, granted, they probably do have some of those connections. They're essentially unelected officials that get into positions like Maureen Comey. Those are the people that are the deep state. They are people that we do not vote for, that are appointed by the people that we do vote for, that stay long after the people that we voted for are out of office. And they continue to guide the government in the directions that the people that we originally voted for wanted for the overarching plan of whatever that may be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't fucking like it either. I'd like to tear the whole system down if I had a choice. And Dad, if you're still watching, I don't know if you're still there. If he's implicated, string him the fuck up. It's time to get all this shit out. Fuck him and fuck all of his people.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, if this is true, I agree. I agree to that statement 110%. It is all about the money. You got to follow the money. I want to get to the truth. I want to get to the truth of the Epstein files. I want to know the fucking truth. I want to know, were they burned? Were they destroyed? Is Trump in them? I don't think he is. And my immediate defense of that, if you want to really know what the power play that I think that is actually going on right now is, he is stirring up his opposition, because right now the Democrats are in Congress trying to get a bill to have everything published out of the Epstein cases. Do you know who stood against it? All the Republicans. Why? Because they're probably both fucking implicated. And I think that it would gut the government. I think they're all fucking blackmailed. I think they all are. But the more that he becomes defensive, the more the Democrats want it. Which is what I said to you. This is the guy, this is the PR king. This guy knows public relations better than anybody else on the planet. One of his mottos is, there is no such thing as bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. So the guy who keeps talking about it, it's because he wants it to be talked about. Gut away. I don't know what that means. I think tar and feathering should be a fucking thing again. I think we should tar and feather our fucking Republicans are wanting transparency, Democrats aren't. It's the other way around. Currently, it's the weird. We're living in fucking weird oddball times. The Democrats want to vote a bill to have everything in the Epstein files published. Last night, all the Democrats or all the Republicans voted against it. They voted it down. Now, supposedly there's some bullshit talk that because the governments want it all, then CP is going to be published. I'm sorry. Bullshit.
No, they can still.
Oh, gut away the government. I agree. Gut it. The whole place.
No, they can still. Really, yeah. They're saying they don't want to release the files or anything to like something about like the victims and like upsetting the victims or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can black out that, you can keep the victims.
We've redacted 1,000 other fucking documents, billions of other documents. We can't redact this. there's something definitely weird going on around us. There's like, I can't deny that. I don't know what directions it's going in. I don't know who's involved. I mean, I know Epstein's black book. I saw it. I saw his flight logs. I saw all that stuff. So what is it that they're actually going to publish? Are they
just pulled up this thing that was published in August of 2020, the Epstein flight logs. Interesting that none of these celebrities have come forward to denounce Jeffrey Epstein or his crimes. Hollywood is silent on this issue because they are complicit.
Yeah, absolutely.
People like James Franco, Alec Baldwin, Alice Anderson Cooper, Barack Obama, Ben Affleck, Beyonce Knowles, Bill Clinton, Bill Murray, Charlie Sheen.
Allegedly. Everything that he's reading right now is alleged. None of it's true. We don't know. None of it's improving.
It actually says here, partly false, reviewed by third-party fact checkers. See why. Interesting.
Well, fuck fact checkers. Don't listen to fact checkers. You can't trust fact checkers. This is the topsy-turvy fucking world that we live in. These people.
Yeah, that's another thing. People who do we have to fact check the fact checkers now?
Yes. And you know how you
fucking have to.
You know how you fact check the fact checkers? You follow their money and see who their donors and their fucking their accounts are laying.
Who was it? Bernie Sanders, I think. Was that you that sent that to me? Like Bernie Sanders got like a huge donation from someone and that's why he dropped out of the race.
Yes. He got paid to drop out.
Terrible, because I used to really like Bernie Sanders.
He's just another scumbag. Listen, I said this before. I was a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
I was a Bernie bro. I went to the Bernie rally in Atlantic City. I was ready to vote for fucking Bernie. Then he drops out, and immediately my senses went off, and I was like, "That was fucking fishy." And he's like, "We have to rally behind Hillary. She's our only hope." Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
That was a great Bernie impression, by the way.
I can do better when I'm not angry. The millionaires and the billionaires. And then
asking you once again to subscribe to the General Admissions Podcast.
Yeah. So I can get a third vacation home. Because that's what he did. He took that fucking money that he got paid off for and dropped out of the fucking race, and then he bought another fucking vacation home. He's got 3 now. And he wants to talk about it because that's the thing. It's no longer about the millionaires and the billionaires. It's about the billionaire oligarchs. I bet you if you asked him to fucking define oligarch, he couldn't.
Hey, he could.
No. You know what the other part was? And I started doing some like research into him. You know, he's never had a job in his entire life. He's been a fucking career politician. Never worked a job in his entire life. At least AOC, at least supposedly she was a bartender. Supposedly. We don't know. Most of that shit's fucking written for him anyway.
Born into a working-class Jewish family and raised in New York, Sanders attended Brooklyn College before graduating University in Chicago. 64.
What kind of family?
A Jewish family.
A working class. Don't say that word on this podcast. We're going to get flagged. Working class. That's what I was asking.
What kind of family? I looked at the word right before family.
I was pointing out the hypocrisy of him being fucking working class because he never worked.
Born into a working-class Jewish family, or I'm sorry, bleep family.
I wouldn't doubt it, Tyson. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think she ever worked at a bar. I think she should do porn.
He was a protest organizer for the Congress of Racial Equality and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee during the Civil Rights Movement. After settling in Vermont in 1968, he ran unsuccessful third-party political campaigns in the 1970s. He was elected mayor of Burlington in 81 as an independent and was reelected 3 times.
I was subscribed for a friend.
I'm not seeing anything of him like.
No, it's documented that he never held a job ever. That's one of the things that you're going to come to find. That is a common thread through all of these socialist Democrats. Zoran Mamdani, the one in fucking running for New York, who's trying to gut New York and turn it into a communist hellscape, never held a job ever. He's a failed rapper from Uganda.
Yeah, early careers, just like political activism and University of Chicago sit-ins and like a swell guy, a nice Jewish boy from Brooklyn, but he wasn't terribly charismatic. Someone said about him in a 2016 interview.
What about the rest of them? Which ones? I think most politicians suck, period. I lean towards populists. I lean towards people.
I don't think we've had an honest politician since JFK.
He wasn't honest either. What are you talking about? You mean the guy who was cheating on his wife with fucking Marilyn Monroe? Like 90% of the time? Allegedly? Allegedly. Nah, dude. I don't think any politician's completely honest.
No, you're right.
I don't think there's a single fucking one of them.
I think let me rephrase. I think our best shot of having the best America that could have been would have been was JFK. But then he
Possibly.
But then all that stuff happened.
I think we need to go back and get rid of FDR. Everybody talks about like fucking going in a time machine. I think somebody needs to get in a time machine and go kill FDR.
Teddy?
No, not Teddy.
Teddy Roosevelt,
Franklin Delano.
I'm not too sure.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. You don't know who FDR is? He was the president through World War II. Basically bankrupted America and then ushered in a socialist state, which is why we're basically been fighting a socialist state ever since. It's FDR's fault that the military industrial complex is at the power that they are. That might get me in trouble. But it's true.
I was reading something. What might get you in trouble?
Alden, glad you made it, buddy. I hope you're feeling all right. Did we, though? Did we win World War II? Did we? Did you know the entire population of Germany was 16 million people?
Wow.
During World War II, in the Weimar Republic, there's only 16 million people in their census. I know. I'm with you. They can't be false. Can't be.
Hmm. Who would you say was like our best president?
George Washington.
How could you say that, man?
Why?
He had slaves.
He was tall. He was handsome. He had slaves.
You advocate that type of. I'm being obnoxious. I'm sorry.
You know why? You want to know why I say that George Washington was our best president?
Because he started it?
Because he was the only president that didn't want to be president, that they forced him to be president, and he's the one that came up with term limits.
He's the one that came up with what?
Term limits. He was one of the only presidents in the history of the United States that actually wanted to take away the power of the presidential office. The problem with government is, as it gathers power, it never rescinds power. It never gives power back. So, like with the Patriot Act of 2002, 2001, that's why we're all monitored, to open the floodgates to what we're living in now.
Yeah, it says here he served from, where was that? I just passed it. 1789 to 1797, so 8 years.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a king.
Who would you say is the worst president we had?
Carter. Jimmy Carter is the forefather of
lived
the.
Lived to be 100.
Yeah, lived to be 100, so that he could watch his fucking, what would you call it? His masterpiece of destruction. Jimmy Carter, he's socially touted as like a lame duck president because he didn't do anything. Actually, he is the reason why he undermined the entire middle class and American public. He's the reason why we have milk subsidies. He's the reason we have corn subsidies. He's the reason why high fructose corn syrup is a fucking thing. He's the reason why fucking cheese subsidies are the fucking thing. He's the one that fucked up. He was supposed to be for the farmer. He's for the farmer. And because of his subsidies that he put into place, he actually allowed factory farming. So he basically took the human aspect out of it and made it corporation farming. Jimmy Carter's the worst president we've ever had. There's others, if you want to say like they didn't do anything. You got like Taft and those kind of guys. But no, for like the one who did like the most to destroy America and usher in a communist fucking regime, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I never really looked up too much history on past presidents. There's like a lot of presidents that like I don't know who they are or what they did. Like I've heard their names before, but
I put on podcasts and I put on fucking documentaries and I just do stuff. And I just let them play in the background. And I listen. I mean, if you want to go down a fucking rabbit hole, look up the milk subsidies of the 1970s. They still exist to this day. fucking 50 years later.
1970s, the U.S. government implemented significant milk subsidies, particularly during the Carter administration, to address rising dairy prices and support farmers. This intervention, primarily through the Food and Agricultural Act of 1977, aimed to stabilize prices and ensure a fair income for dairy farmers. However,
Now,
the
let me stop you.
subsidies
Let me interject. Allow me to interject. What is price control? Or more specifically, what form of government uses price control?
What form of government uses price control? I'm not sure.
Or more specifically, what government philosophy uses price controls? Communism. It is a Marxist plan to use price controls instead of allowing a free market and allowing the market to dictate and allow for failure. Because the communist system is very loosely structured, it has a tendency to lean towards failure. So they implement price controls. So go ahead. You can go further.
Aimed to stabilize the prices to ensure fair income for dairy farmers. However, the subsidies led to overproduction, resulting in massive stockpiles of cheese, butter, and powdered milk, often referred to as government cheese. The initial problem was that in the early 1970s, the U.S. experienced a dairy shortage, causing prices to spike. The government under President Jimmy Carter responded by increasing support prices for milk and providing subsidies through the 1977 Farm Bill. This act authorized $2 billion in subsidies over 4 years. In 1977, $2 billion is
two
astronomical.
Big $1 billion.
The guaranteed higher prices incentivized dairy farmers to produce more milk than the market could absorb. The government, to manage the surplus, purchased excess milk and converted it into cheese, butter, and powdered milk, leading to large stockpiles. Government cheese, the accumulation of surplus dairy products, particularly cheese, became known as government cheese, which the government then had to find ways to distribute and dispose of.
Yep.
So that's when they started like putting.
Remember Got Milk?
Make it loud. Yeah.
Everybody remembers Got Milk.
Yeah.
Remember remember how Got Milk was never like a branded advertisement?
No, it was just an ad that said like, "Hey, drink more milk. It's good for you." Whatever.
What do you think that was from?
People pushing to drink more milk because it's good for you. Again, it makes your bones stronger, John.
No, it was paid for by the government to offload and fund the government subsidies. Because for every gallon of milk, the farmer would get a portion.
Now you're getting too deep conspiracy.
This ain't fucking conspiracy. This ain't fucking conspiracy. This isn't fucking conspiracy. This is proof.
Now you're losing me.
This is fucking proof.
I'm
proof.
You say moo?
Proof.
I hear moo.
This is fucking proof.
I can hear you yelling on the TV outside my door.
Sorry, Dad.
Hormones and milk, yeah.
But that's why they came up with programs like WIC. That's why they came up with programs like SNAP. And if you ever noticed that the things that you can buy with SNAP and WIC are directly tied to the government subsidies that they produced in the 1970s. The government's just recycling its fucking money.
That actually makes sense. I don't like that. John Fu for president, everybody.
You
got my vote.
Good. It would not be good.
You know what? And you would be a great president. You know why? Because just like good old
George
Wooden Teeth
Washington, I don't want to
Robinson,
be president.
You don't want it.
All right. Come on, let's get this. Let's get me up to like 50 million subscribers, and then I'll run for president.
Yep.
Thank you, Raven. Raven's going to
Look at that.
single-handedly
Great
fund
start.
my campaign.
I think we're on to something.
Listen, I would be president. I would totally be president because I'm not in anybody's fucking pocket. So go ahead.
Yet. You
can't buy me. You can't buy me. I don't care. I don't care if fucking Donald Trump walked up, knocked on my door, said, listen, here's $2 billion. I can't do this. Handle it for me. I'm not fucking, you can keep it. It's nice. Sounds nice, but I know what the cost of a soul is. So it ain't fucking happening.
Attaboy. Well, on that note, this was fun.
You bailing on me? Going to the corn subsidies.
I gotta do the VIP.
Going to the corn subsidies. You got 12 minutes. It's going to take you that long to prep. I'll cut you off at 9:55.
All right.
The FDA's board is seated by former pharmaceutical reps.
Oh yeah, I've heard numerous times. I care a lot about money.
Feel that?
You shouldn't. We're forced to, but yeah.
It is the love of money that is the root of all evil. And posturing. I smell my own farts.
Just you sit on the you
to give a toast to another symbol.
The glass over your ass, and you just go
the triangle. One of these days we're gonna watch that. One of these days I'm gonna force everybody to watch that with me.
Watch what?
The fever dream that is A Young Person's Guide to History.
Is that a movie?
It is a Adult Swim like short series that is like the most unhinged thing that's supposed to be Thomas Jefferson. It's Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin. I'll hit you up as soon as I'm off of here, brother. And Alexander Hamilton. And it's like,
oh my God,
it's the guys from
Larry Dorf's in it.
Oh, dude, it is so good. It is so good. It's so good. Little. It's a Garlon with teeth the size of buildings.
Oh, we totally have to watch.
Oh, dude, it's fucking good.
Will Forte's in it. Tim Heidecker as well. Oh my God,
yeah, dude. They played it like fucking like 4:00 in the morning. Like nobody ever watched it, but it's so good. It's terrifying. It's bloody. It's ridiculous. I'm Future Franklin. I'm coming to you from the future.
Dude, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Is it Will? Who's the guy? Who's the guy who plays Thomas Jefferson?
Is that?
It's not. That's not Will Forte. Young. I think it's like Young People's Guide, right? Young
Person's Guide to History.
Young Person's Guide to History. That's right.
It looks like Conan O'Brien for a second. I don't know if he like did a cameo in there or something.
No, I don't think he's on there. Young person. There it is. There it is. There. Dana Snyder plays Benjamin Franklin. You know who Dana Snyder is, right?
The name is ringing a distant bell.
He's Master Shake from
Yeah.
Hugh Davidson. Hugh Davidson is probably he's unrecognizable in the show, like in his other stuff, but he is fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh, he's been in a bunch of stuff. A lot of Robot Chicken stuff, Mike Tyson mysteries.
Yeah. Steve
All of
Little.
the Mole Man. Oh my god.
All right. All right.
Oh, he's also done Looney Tunes.
We have enough time? It's 50. Oh, we've got 2 minutes. All right. Find it. Really? Really? Young person's guide to history. That's the full length one. Jean-Philippe, no. Cool. All right, this is what we're gonna leave you guys on. This is probably gonna get our video flagged, but
Oh god.
get our video flagged. But
I muted my mic so I can hear it on the stream.
4. Everyone who sign up, you get your own account, and then your friends sign up, and you can talk to them through the online.
It's a funny, timely.
Timely.
It's timely.
What's it about? Summarize that.
It's a joke.
All right, let's just.
It's a funny
I don't know why.
story.
Still go out with you.
Fish away!
Hamilton! What? It's all right. I'm not going to hit you. Without Thomas, there'll be no violence this Christmas. Even if it seems like no Christmas at all.
Mr. Jefferson.
Yeah!
It's good to see my old pals. You want to see something that will blow your mind? I can communicate with sea creatures. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
No habla, buddy. Get out of my face.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
What?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Wonderful.
I can also explode them.
People think that you were
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
What a ride that was. Holy shit. Anyway,
Just a snippet.
Wow. So I'm gonna I got another podcast I gotta run to. So thank you everybody who watched today and subscribed and sent bits.
Thank
guys
you.
are fucking
Love you all. Dad,
These
love
are
you.
officially going towards
Of course,
John's
we're signing
president.
off now. We got 12 people watching.
I know that's I'm the worst. You can keep going without me if you
Nah, I'm
want.
out. Love
You can keep it
everybody.
rocking.
Talk to you later.